Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Carl Brister, and you are tuned into The Groove. What's up? What's up? We've made it through this week. That's right. And we're about to journey on to our weekend. It is almost here. This is like pre Friday. What's up, everybody? This is The Groove, and this is where we journey through this groove of life together. And we have this great conversation and exchange, and we set the weekend up just right. Our special guest today, I'm telling you, you guys, you're just going to love this, brother. We have Latin music sensation, Mr. Nestor Martinez. He's going to help us find our groove in the Latin music world. So you guys get ready. Make sure you share this link. Tell your mom and them and your cousin and thems and all them and thems. And let's go. This is The Groove, y'all. Rock.
Ladies and gentlemen, Carl Brister. The Groove. Let's go. The Groove.
Hey, what's up, you guys? This is Carl Brister. You guys are rocking and locked in to The Groove with me, your boy. This is our place. This is where we connect. This is where everything sort of comes together. That is what The Groove is about. And we find that place for each of us, and we find how we can ride that groove of life and move through this journey together. What's up, you guys? What's up, Facebook? What's up, YouTube? What's up, Twitter? So glad that you guys could join me. Want you guys to make sure you click that subscribe button. Make sure you click that friend or follow button, and make sure you share the link. Make sure you guys do that. You know, this has been a crazy week. It's been crazy, momentous in a beautiful way. We have the first African-American female Supreme Court nominee, basically going before Congress and holding her own, but also being grilled. And we're hoping for the best. And this is a historic occasion there. And then on the other side of the globe, we have war, man. We have Russia attacking Ukraine, and those Ukrainians are holding their own. They are standing strong, and our hearts are with them. And you see all the leaders of the Western world coming together. And I mean, you know, Marvin said it best. What's going on, right? You know, and the question is, do you guys still see love in the world today, with everything that's going on and all this that's happening? Do we still see love in the world today? You know, I had a chance to just ask a few people, you know, on the street and see what everybody was thinking. And I met these two brothers that I want to introduce you to, Salo and Ernst. And I want you guys to check this out and see what they had to say about it. It's good to have them brothers on
Yeah,
you know,
sir.
talking about love. We're talking about love in the world today.
I kind of try to find love not so like in a way where it's not just so visible, you know, like people can say, oh, because I say I love you. No, for me, I kind of see it as more so when I'm this way. How do you feel? Like, what do you do for me when I'm sad? What do you do for me when I'm mad and angry? How do you treat me when I'm not treating you right? Because I know it's one thing to love somebody because they're doing something good for you, but it's something else to treat somebody or love somebody when they're treating you badly.
Everybody wants change, but nobody wants to change. And that's very profound, because it's like everybody's always looking at the next person, you know, the leaders, you know, the highest of the highest in the country to like make changes. But it really just starts with everybody, every individual person doing something to add to that change.
I like that. Everybody wants change, but nobody wants to change. Everybody wants change, but nobody wants to change. And you know what? Love is about making those changes, right? To make sure we're all, you know, connecting and we're all okay. What's up, you guys? This is Carl Brister. If you're just joining me, this is The Groove, and I'm so glad you guys are with me here tonight. So happy that you made it through this week. I know what it's like, and we hope that this music just gives you everything you need to find that groove in life. We have a special guest today. We're going to ask him, do you still see love in the world today? But I have a feeling that he does, because this brother sings Latin music like no other that I know. And, Latin music reminds us of love for all, the reasons that it should. And, he has a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful song. You guys are going to check it out now. And after this song, we're going to bring on Latin music sensation Nestor Martinez. But first, check out his current single, Cada Vez. Check it out.
Más sin verte, ando por la calle ni se siente, escapando ya no estoy pendiente, el recuerdo que jugó en mi mente, este dolor que yo cargo conmigo, me estoy moviendo con mi alma muy frío, cada paso me hace daño, cada paso para encontrarnos, cada vez yo te veo muy lejos, cada vez más enloqueciendo, cada vez otro día sufriendo, cada vez yo te veo muy lejos, cada vez más enloqueciendo, cada vez otro día sufriendo. Ese dulce de tu boca que me tiene así, me hace sentir cada miedo que tengo en mí, cada miedo que tengo en mí. Mi amor fue algo maltratado, mi corazón fue muy abusado, yo sé que todo quedó en mi pasado. Cada vez yo te veo muy lejos, cada vez más enloqueciendo, cada vez otro día sufriendo. Cada vez yo te veo muy lejos, cada vez más enloqueciendo, cada vez otro día sufriendo. Estando solo te encuentro, sé que tal vez sigues adentro. Necesito hallar otra llave hermosa que pueda hacerme salir a brillar. Pero recuerdo me va a detener de este amor que quiere renacer. Es un dolor que me hace sufrir cada paso que yo ando sin ti. Cada vez yo te veo muy lejos, cada vez más enloqueciendo, cada vez otro día sufriendo. Cada vez yo te veo muy lejos, cada vez más enloqueciendo, cada vez otro día sufriendo. Cada vez yo te veo muy lejos, cada vez más enloqueciendo, cada vez otro día sufriendo. Cada vez yo te veo muy lejos, cada vez más enloqueciendo, cada vez otro día sufriendo.
Yeah.
What's up, Carl?
What's up?
Nice.
Bro, that video is like, it's everything, man. That video is life. I mean,
Thank you, bro.
yeah. I mean, the words, the music, everything, but even the production, those shots, the lighting.
Yeah,
You know,
the guy that shot it, he's very talented. It's crazy because I kind of just shared with him my vision of the whole music video, and it's always great when you see a director take what like you have and make it even better. So it's very impressive, and he's young too. I don't want to say his age because he doesn't want me to, but he's like in his 20s, and it's just crazy how talented he is. Very good guy.
please shout him out. What's his name? Everybody needs to know.
Well, his name, like Cinematic Hitman. Like he has his own website, the Cinematic Hitman, but his name is Adler. But yeah.
Awesome, man. Great job. Beautiful song, man. Can you tell us a little bit about the words and the story behind that
Yeah.
song?
Yeah. So when I got together, I wrote that song. I wrote it with Chris Cass. He also produced it. This was a couple of years ago, and Chris was just like, we did it from his house. It was like a studio at his house. Now he actually has a studio, so it's crazy. Like it was just the beginning steps, and I remember he was just playing the guitar, and the hook came to me right away. Like I was like, it came to me instantly, and this was like right before I got into the relationship that I'm in now, and I just remember like,
Whoa. You just broke a lot of hearts right there, man. Hold up.
well,
You're off the market. I'm sorry, ladies. I'm sorry. He's off the market. Go ahead.
So yeah, so right before I got into my relationship, I think I was at a place where I felt like I was stuck. Like I kept on running into the walls to the same girls, same situations, and I felt lost. I'm not gonna lie, I felt really lost, and I think it was a moment of reflection for me. Like it was like, man, I started to realize it was a pattern. It was something that I was used to. So when I wrote that song, it sounds like I'm singing it about someone, like I'm missing someone, because that initially, but the whole thing is that the double meaning behind it is I'm actually missing who I used to be. I'm missing I feel lost in these steps that I've taken, and for me it was like the beginning of a new Nestor. So yeah, so which is why like if you see from the first image, it's like more darker. That's why I'm wearing like the leather. I have the curly hair, and then when you see the light come out, then it's me dressed up dapper. It's like being reborn. So I think that before that, I was in a marriage. So like, you know, I've lived my life a little bit. So before that, I think it was really tough. You know, I went through divorce and all that stuff. But I think that when you go, just to make a long story short, I think whenever you go through heartbreak, you almost don't want to remember who you are because it assimilates to what you've been through. So you kind of throw that to the side, which is what I definitely did because the pain was too hard to deal with. But then comes something really beautiful throughout those years. And then you go through all the steps, you start to remember the things that you had. And it's like you want to reconnect with them. So when I'm saying cada vez yo te veo muy lejos, it's like every time I see you further, cada vez otro día sufriendo, like every day that passes, another day suffering. So the whole thing is I'm suffering because I've lost contact of who I used to be. So that song for me was therapeutic because it was a moment of me. It was an epiphany, and I was like, man, if I'm ready. Like I was ready now to like to go back and dig back those pieces that I kind of stored away because it was too hard to deal with. So yeah, like that's definitely what inspired the song. Yeah.
Wow.
To that about Adler, like I told him, I kind of told him, like, I want there to be like a one night stand. You're around with people that really aren't your friends. They're just there for the moment. But then once the party's done, they're out. That's why you see me on my phone. I'm gone. And then I go meet up the girl. And then from there, she steals my money and she's out. I throw up in the bathroom, which is what happens. And then after that, you see me in the mirror. And then like, I'm looking at the person that I used to be. Like, you know what I mean? In retrospect in the mirror. So then it goes back to like being in those dark lights, me dressed up in my element of singing. And then all those things. That the girl in the video is actually my girlfriend, but what the whole meaning of it was supposed to be like, I'm writing music. I feel inspired to write music, like those things. I'm giving her a rose. So those romantic gestures that I kind of lost touch with. And then I'm singing to her. She's the only one that's watching me. So ironically, she has always been my supporter. But the thing is, that was something actually the director put that I thought was awesome because he thought it would resonate with people like that do relate to it with someone that lost like a special girl. Because music, artistically, you can think of it, it could be in anyone's interpretation. But For me, it was just like it was that moment of like the reason I wanted it to be so secluded in just those moments is like it was more about those moments, those things that I lost touch with. That's what it was for me artistically. But what I loved what about Adler did is he added that other element so that people could find a way to relate to it in their own relationships and sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd love to ask, the songwriter about the inspiration behind the song, because, sometimes you miss that because we just sort of into the groove is dun, 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 and what are you talking about? You're not even thinking about that, but I love that, with the groove here, I can really get to the heart of the songwriter, and first of all, man, thank you for being here today.
Oh, thanks for having me, bro.
I didn't even have to do an introduction because we go back. You're my brother. We have performed on many stages together.
Yes, we have.
Many stages, too many to name. But always, just been a great admirer of what you do, and I just want to share you and your story with as many people as I can. And I really was intrigued to know that you were inspired by your brother.
Yes, I was. I definitely was. He was the singer in the family. I wasn't actually. I was very shy, and he was like, when he was younger, he had a really ridiculous high range, and he still does have a very high range. But they would always ask him to sing, and he would be hitting all these crazy high notes like the family. And sometimes he would do like Boys to Men music, and I would sing with him in the background because I used to like singing, but I never told anybody because I don't want people to tell me that. I was like, God forbid somebody tells me I'm not good. So I don't want to hear it. So he was definitely the singer, and I would watch him. He was like even in a group in high school, and I would sing like right behind him, and then I remember that my mom's cousin was the one that noticed. Like he told my mom, he's like, they have a really good ear, but he noticed my talent as well too, and I thought he was lying. He's like, you have a voice too, you have a really good ear, and I'm like, oh, I feel like he's just telling me that. But fast forward, I would sing R&B, all this kind of music at home, and my brother was kind of the one that inspired me and got me into theater, and to get me out of my shell.
Okay, well, shout out to your brother. What's your brother's name?
Oscar.
All right, shout out Oscar. What's up? Hey, if you're just joining in, this is The Groove with Carl Brister. I am really proud to have Latin music sensation Mr. Nestor Martinez as our special guest tonight. We definitely want you to subscribe. If you're on YouTube, shout out to you guys. Make sure you click that subscribe button so that you can get all the grooves and all of my music and all the videos and everything you'll get first before anybody else. And if you're following me on Facebook and Twitter, same thing, you guys. Make sure you follow and click all of those things. But even more, I want you guys to share the love, share the link, share it with your pages, start a watch party if you can. It's Thursday night. We're kicking it Latin style tonight with my brother, my good friend, Mr. Nestor Martinez. So Nestor, listen, you are 5 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Your mom is either cooking or, as I know her to do, right?
Yeah.
And the music is playing.
Yeah.
What are you hearing as a kid?
Well, the funny thing is my mom used to sing all the time when we were younger. So she would always be singing like this, her music that she grew up listening to, which was Julio Jaramillo. And I remember as a kid, I'd be like, oh my God, I'd tell my mom, I'd be like, Mom, please stop singing. She actually has a nice voice, but I would just get so annoyed because she'd always be singing. It was like her therapy. And the funny thing is, like, I grew up and then I would be the only one singing. She would tell me to shut up because I'd be freaking practicing. So the wheels turned. But I definitely grew up listening to a lot of Julio Jaramillo, a lot of the old school artists, he's a big artist that a lot of Colombians listen to. And I listened to a lot of Mark Anthony, was a huge inspiration for me.
Yeah, he's one of my favorites as well.
Yeah, his second album was just like, that was the first time I heard him, and it changed my life. I loved listening to As Yet. As Yet and Boyz II Men were probably my favorite boy groups growing up. As Yet only had one album, but like I thought their voices were beautiful. And Boyz II Men, like, oh my God, I loved them so much. And then later on you had Drew Hill and you had Genuine. Genuine was another artist I really enjoyed a lot. I liked a lot of the 90s Latin sensations with Ricky Martin, Enrique Iglesias, like all those, as I started to become a teenager, like listening to that stuff, like for sure. So, but I think the stuff that's deep rooted in me, even when I sing, is definitely romantic, Spanish music, and probably like 90s R&B. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I see you also like Marvel.
Oh yes. Oh my God.
You see your collection back there.
I'm a nerd. That believe it or not, that's like a huge inspiration for me. Watching X-Men was like a huge inspiration for me as an artist, because it got my creative mind so open. Like watching the cartoons and stuff and playing toys, like me and my brother would create these crazy scenarios. And now when I'm writing music, like my mind is so open, because I feel like as a kid, like that world, being able to explore that, the comics and all that, like it just opened up my mind so much. So.
Okay. Okay. Well, who is your number one there?
Definitely it's Cyclops. As you can tell in the background, it's full of Cyclops stuff. He was like, I like it a lot because me and my brother, the thing is, you'll see Cyclops, but that stuff reminds me of my childhood with my brother. It's not so much about him, even though I love his character, but it's more about the memories as a kid that I had with my brother. And it was our first X-Men, like that was the first thing we were into, you know what I mean? Like we liked DC, but we were never as passionate as we were as like we found out about Marvel. So that was his first toy, was Wolverine, mine was Cyclops. So I feel like that was the beginning of like, I like to say like that moment in my life where like my creative mind really expanded. So that's why I love X-Men so much. And this
all right, shout out to Marvel. Look, we got that's just we're gonna take this piece and we're gonna send it to Marvel. So
yeah,
you'll be cast in the next movie.
Yeah, that would be a dream. Be Cyclops.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Listen, brother. So now you started auditioning around 18, right?
I did start auditioning at 18.
And you got your first break at 19, you said.
I did. Yeah. The first thing I ever auditioned for was American Idol. I went out there when there was like 10,000 people. They had all those like when I got there, it was so many people, and I remember you weren't allowed to audition unless you had a bracelet. And of course, I didn't get there on time. So what do? I had a friend that had a bracelet, and I literally drew out the American Idol sign, and I found a way to audition, and I went in there and I got to audition. I didn't get through, but it was the beginning of my auditions. Yeah, and then I would audition for like Jersey Idol. I'd audition for Star Search, all this stuff. Anything that I can, and I would go on backstage, and then finally, it was the show called Nueva Estrella. It was like they were looking for the next bilingual Latin artist, and that's where I got my foot in. Like I got to get like a taste of, I guess you could say, the industry. It was a pilot that CBS was trying. It was only for the tri-state area, and I didn't actually get into the television show, but like I made it into the semifinalists. I got really far, and I learned a lot of stuff, so it was pretty cool. Yeah.
Oh wow, man! I've also been on some auditions with you as well.
Yes.
So tell me, what do you think are, say, your two things or two or three things you tell yourself when you're about to perform or particularly audition?
Gosh, like if it was Nestor when I was 18, I would have told you all the wrong things. I think sometimes you think you want to do the right things, but then when you get up there, like the thing is, for anyone auditioning, the best thing is, somebody told me this when I was young, somebody in the Barrio Boys, and he couldn't have said it more right when I was on the Nueva Estrella Awards. He said, he's like, perform everywhere and audition for everything, anything, like even if it's a Sweet 16, whatever, because there's nothing like experience. Like, I think that's the biggest thing, the experience, putting yourself out there, messing up, not being afraid to mess up, because sometimes the fear of messing up, and everybody deals with nerves differently. Like when I was younger, I definitely didn't know how to deal with my nerves. So like I would definitely choke up. You know what I mean? I would tell myself I'd have all these prep talks, but I wouldn't actually be able to like really shine, you know, in my most authentic self. I will say this, and it's easier said than done, but I think that you have to be, it's what everyone says, like be connected to your art, be in your moment, be genuine, think about, mean what you're saying, like all these things. And it's simply said, but I think the most important thing is genuinely like go out there, do everything to the point that when you get to an audition, you're not scared, but you're able to channel those nerves and just do the best that you can, and you don't put all that pressure on yourself. I think sometimes when you put so much pressure on yourself, you don't get to as anything you do as an artist. Like whenever you're writing music, whenever you're singing, when do you do the best that you do? It's when you genuinely don't feel pressure, when you genuinely let those emotions just come out, and you're not scared, or you're not thinking about what the other person's thinking about you, but you're genuinely connected to, I like to say, your chi. That's what a friend told me. Like when you connect, like, you know, how you watching Kung Fu Panda, how he connects to his chi. I think as artists, you got to connect to your chi. You got to know what it is that takes you to that place. And I think with experience, it's something scary when you're first young, when you realize, I think, that power, that, because everyone holds that power. But I think the more that you're not afraid of it, the more you're willing to embrace that and let it kind of sink in. And I definitely think that it also comes from God. The better you just become. That's why I say experience. Like you just get better. Yeah.
And so that audition at 19 and holding on to at least some of that allowed you to have a lot of, you know, success. So what was some of the things that you achieved? So at age 19, what was your first big break?
So my first big break after that, I was a wedding singer. For me, that was a big thing because that was my first paid gig. So like, and I've been doing that. Obviously, I'm still doing that. I've been doing it for a really long time. But it was, for me, it was so exciting because right before that, I kind of went on Craigslist. I was in a band like for a year, and I got like my repertoire up, and you know, it's like we're performing for bars and stuff. But landing my first like wedding band, and it was for a Russian wedding band, and we were traveling and stuff. Like that for me was huge. I'm like, man, I'm getting paid to sing. This is so cool. And it was also the beginning of like I learned so much like doing that, because I think that when you're putting yourself out there and you have to learn all these different types of music and genres, and you have to adapt, and you're out on stage and you have to sell it, like there's nothing more than that's like the best way. You're being thrown into the wolves. So from there I started performing with a lot of bands, and then my second thing was I started singing for cruises. So that was another well, actually before that I did traveling theater. I got to do Jersey Boys out in Myrtle Beach, and then I sang for Carnival Cruise Lines, and that was really cool. So
I remember that, man. I remember Jersey Boys. I remember. That's right. Man,
that was fun too. I got to live out in Myrtle Beach, and I was out there for like 6 months, and it was great. It was an amazing experience. It really was.
So listen, this is what we're gonna do. I want everyone to experience more of all of that knowledge and professional experience that you gained from all of those auditions, from all of those gigs that you obtained. I want you guys to check out Nestor Martinez in action right now, and he's going to come back. We're going to ask him, does he still see love in the world? And we're going to also get into the Latin music world and what is his experiences like right now as a Latin music artist. But first, I want you guys to check him out. This is Nestor Martinez live performing for you right here.
My direction, so thankful for that, such a blessing, yeah. Turn every situation into heaven, yeah. Oh, you are my sunrise on the darkest day. Got me feeling some kind of way. Make me wanna savor every moment slowly, slowly, yeah. You fit me telling love how you put it on. Got the only key, know how to turn it on. The way you nibble on my ear, the only words I wanna hear. Baby, take it slow so we can last long. Tú eres el imán y yo soy el metal. Me voy acercando, voy armando el plan. Solo con pensarlo se acelera el pulso. Oh yeah, y ya me está gustando más de lo normal. Todos mis sentidos van pidiendo más. Esto hay que tomarlo sin ningún apuro. Despacito, quiero respirar tu cuello despacito. Deja que te diga cosas al oído, para que te acuerdes si no estás conmigo. Despacito, quiero desnudarte besos despacito. Firmas las paredes de tu laberinto y hacer de tu cuerpo todo un manuscrito. Quiero ver bailar tu pelo, quiero ser tu ritmo. Que le enseñes a mi boca tus lugares favoritos. Déjame sobrepasar tus zonas de peligro, hasta provocar tus gritos y que olvides tu apellido. Si te pido un beso, ven dámelo. Yo sé que está pensándolo, llevo tiempo intentándolo. Mami, estoy dando y dándolo. Sabe que tu corazón conmigo te hace bang bang. Sabe que esa Eva está buscando de mi bang bang. Ven, prueba de mi boca para ver cómo te sabe. Quiero ver cuánto amor a ti te cae. Yo no tengo prisa, yo me quiero dar el viaje. Empecemos lento, después salvar. Pasito, pasito, suave, suavecito. Nos vamos pegando poquito, poquito. Cuando tú me besas con esa destreza, veo que malicia con delicadeza. Pasito, pasito, suave, suavecito. Nos vamos pegando poquito, poquito. Es que esa belleza es un rompecabezas, pero para montarlo aquí tengo la pieza. Oye, despacito, quiero respirar tu cuello despacito. Deja que te diga cosas al oído, para que te acuerdes si no estás conmigo. Despacito, quiero desnudarte besos despacito. Firma en las paredes de tu laberinto y hacer de tu cuerpo todo un manuscrito. Quiero ver bailar tu pelo, quiero ser tu ritmo. Que le enseñes a mi boca tus lugares favoritos. Déjame sobrepasar tus zonas de peligro, hasta provocar tus gritos y que olvides tu apellido. Despacito, this is how we do it down in Puerto Rico. I just wanna hear you screaming, ay bendito. I can move forever cuando estás conmigo. Bailalo pasito, pasito, suave, suavecito. Nos vamos pegando poquito. Que le enseñes a mi boca tus lugares favoritos. Oh, pasito, pasito, suave, suavecito. Nos vamos pegando poquito, hasta provocar tus gritos y que olvides tu apellido. Despacito.
Yeah.
Our boy Chris
Yeah.
filling in on the guitar. Sounds so
Who's
good.
on guitar?
Chris.
All
He's
right,
not-
all right.
he's
Shout out
great.
Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, love that video. And you know, that song was like everywhere. That
Oh my
song
God,
was
yeah.
everywhere, man. And
One
you
of
know,
the
I was just,
biggest Latin songs. It's crazy.
yeah. I mean, was it like 1 billion views or something on?
Well, yeah. I mean, it probably has way more now, but yeah, for sure. Yeah, it definitely got to 1 billion views quick. It did.
What do you know, what do you attribute to Latin music's, popularity? I mean, in addition to that, you got J Balvin, with Beyonce, Mi Gente, and then
Yeah.
you got J Lo and Shakira killing it at the Super Bowl last year. I mean, Latin music is a force.
Yeah.
You know, what do you attribute to the rise in recent times of its popularity?
I think it's amazing, to be honest, like where it's at today. Like it's crazy because I think about the 90s, it was like the Latin, they call it the Latin explosion, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, all these Latin artists came out, but the truth is like Latin music, like all these Latin artists, Shakira, Ricky Martin, Enrique were huge already, like in Latin music, but then, you know, they came in and did the crossover, and it was like they had the whole crossover. But now you think about it, and you have all these Latin artists that are that are not even singing English, just a little bit, and then they're out there collaborating with English artists, and it's like they are world sensations. It's even bigger than what it was in the 90s. So it's kind of amazing, to be honest, how much it's grown. And I think it's great. To me, I think it's beautiful that that Latin artists collaborate with so many different artists, and they collaborate with themselves, especially in the era of music right now. Like you'll see J Balvin, like he collaborates, he'll have remixes with everyone, and Maluma will do the same thing. And I just saw Sebastian Yatras coming out with a song with he has a song already, and now he's having John Legend in it, and Alicia Keys did something with Pedro Capo. So it's so cool how like they've fused all these different where reggaeton is at today. Like they've just, it's crazy. It's really beautiful. And one of the things that I do love about Latin culture, which I think is really amazing, and something that I also teach when I'm because I teach kids as well too, is there's so much cultures infused into Latinos. Like you have African American Latinos, you have European ones, you have what's that called? Indian. But my point is that there's so many different cultures infused into it, and everything is different. Like you'll go to a part of Colombia, like from Medellin, where I'm from, it's more like Medellin was more colonized by Spain, so there's a lot of Spanish roots down there. But then when you go a little more south, like by Barranquilla, there's a lot of Afro Latinos there, and it's like so different. And it's but at the same time, it's the same and different. It's just like it's all infused into one, and you hear in the music, like even in Celia Cruz's music, like
Yes.
had a lot, you know. And now you hear
Hold
it
up,
all over.
pause right there.
Yeah.
Did you just mention Celia Cruz? And keep going. No, you cannot.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, like she had a lot of Afro Latin infused sounds in her music, you know, in her.
Yes.
So there's just so much. To me, it's just amazing how many different cultures there is in Latin, and when you listen to all this music, like whether if it's salsa, bachata, merengue, reggaeton, like it all has a piece of something. So it's I like to think, and I'm probably saying this because I'm Latino, obviously, but I like to think that, well, first of all, I do know that Latin language is one of the languages of love, but I do think that it's Latinos find a way to really embrace and bring everybody together. And I think that's why people are so drawn to the music, honestly, because I think as a society, it's needed. You know what I mean? You know, and it's,
I hear you.
so it's beautiful. I feel really blessed to have been raised in my culture, to have learned so much, to be American, to everything. And you know, especially you know, being here, having the opportunity that we have in America, but at the same time being raised and taught so much about my culture as well too, and what our music can do, and what opportunity it gives me as an artist to be able to do as well too, you know. So it's a blessing.
You know, I was thinking, you know, to ask you this as well. It's, you know, have you had to endure or face any obstacles, you know, as a Latin music artist? You know, anything that might, you know, that you had to sort of overcome, or barriers that might be placed in your way due to the fact that you are a Latin music artist?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. I think, to be honest, yeah, I definitely have. Like, I remember when I first started in the industry, the wedding band industry, actually, people didn't know where to put me, because the thing is, like, Latin music was like, all you had was the 90s music, but it wasn't as prevalent, like as strong as it is now. Like now you hear it on the radio, it's like it's the pop music of today. So obviously when that happens, I get more work, you know what I mean? So I think before people didn't know where to place me, because even though I was influenced by R&B and I was also influenced by Latin music, it's like it was a challenge. And I also think too, uh how do I explain it? Me personally, as an artist, because of being influenced by so many things, it was hard to put that all together as one. Because if you're an R&B artist, there's a certain there is a certain criteria. There's a certain way to kind of put yourself out there when you are uh, how do I say this? When you are selling yourself as an artist, just as well as a Latin artist as well too. You know what I mean? There's certain criteria that you follow. But now that the industry has opened up so much and it's not so black and white, you know what I mean? Like now, like I said, like you have all these Latin artists that are like infusing with different artists. Now, like being able to like, you know, now to get in between those shades is more acceptable. So I don't think it was before, to be honest. I think it was you were one or the other. You couldn't be both. You know what I mean? And if you were, you had to lean towards one way or the other. If you were a Latin singer that did R&B, then you wouldn't do that much R&B. You know what I mean? You wouldn't do that much Latin music. You would do more R&B. And there's a lot of artists that are like that. Like I can mention who's an artist that, I mean, Christina Aguilera, she's Spanish. You know what I mean?
Right.
She came out doing pop music, and you know, and then she came out doing her Spanish album and she killed it. But what I'm saying is, it's like you had to be one or the other. And now I think because the cultures have infused, now it's more acceptable to be those shades, like both shades. People are like, oh, cool. You know what I mean? Like you could put some R&B in Spanish music, and it's like more acceptable. You know what I mean? As before, like you had Latin music and it was just like straight up pop. Or if you were a Frankie J, for instance, Frankie J was like an R&B singer, but I feel like he was doing his R&B music, but it was more leaning towards that, like more towards R&B, not as Latin as like you would hear, or Ricky Martin or Mark Anthony. You know what I mean? So it's just cool to see the cultures have they infused. And I think these artists who I'm talking about, they've all paved the way and opened up more barriers. So it's great.
Yeah, you know, and with that, you know, we find some common ground. You know, we find some areas that, you know, we share and hopes that we want for this culture, which is for people to give everyone the opportunity to do and be all of who we are, you know, and our talent. So I remember there was a time when the Frank Sinatra music and that was only done by you know, white singers.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And when it was, yeah.
And you know, I love singing those songs.
Yes, I know. Yeah.
You know, and I would sit back in the cut and I'd be like, you know, really wanting to sing. And it took me a while to understand. Oh, that's, you know, but thankfully even that is starting to change.
Yes, it is.
You know,
yeah,
so yeah, the change is good. And I also want to ask you about your other gig, which is modeling.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
I mean, we can't skip over that. I mean, you've got major commercials out there, major print work. Yeah. You know, you've done. I've seen your commercials. You've accomplished quite a bit, man. Your photos are awesome.
Thank you, man.
And you know, a lot of artists find the photo shoot to be a place of challenge, getting that right shot.
Yeah.
And all the tips and all of that. So I sort of kind of wanted you to share a little bit, you know, maybe one or two tips that we can take with us into that photo shoot and be successful.
This is the same thing as performing. I think, first of all, it is important to know angles. I think that when you first go into a photo shoot, you don't want to be so focused on how you're looking, but how you're feeling. Because a lot of people are like, oh, I need to look like this and I need to look like that. Once you're in that head zone, there's nothing here. There's no expression. And I think your expression is really important, because you can have the right angles, but if you don't transmit energy, and that's in anything, then people feel it. So I think one of the most important things when you're taking photos, if somebody's telling you to be chill, think about a moment that you're being like, that you were just super chill, without the camera being there. Like, don't even think about it and connect with it. Like when they ask you to look at the camera, give that a moment to actually open up your soul, because that's what the lens is basically, getting a glimpse of your spirit. You know what I mean? So I think that you can't shy away from that, and you gotta just forget that there's a camera there. Or if there's a moment that you need to take sexy photos, like tap into those moments. You know what I mean? Tap into those moments that you have felt sexy, and don't, like, I think for me, because I was always shy, like, and I was just like, I grew up shy, so I was just like, oh man, I'm afraid to show this. But it's so liberating once, like, when you're able to do that, and you'd be like, you know what, like, I feel sexy, and I feel confident, and just being able to, like, express that is dope. Like, there's an empowerment in that. So for sure, like, I think you have to embrace whatever it is that you're feeling in the moment, and don't double think yourself, and don't, like, because if you're so worried about the way you look, or if you get insecure, the camera's going to pull up on it. And then I think once you have that, then you can learn about angles, about what's going to look better, what angles you might have, how to position your face. But the most important thing is locking in the emotion. Then those things you can work around. You learn that with experience.
So your actual photo shoot starts in here.
Yes, it's all in there. I swear, everything. Like whenever I'm taking stuff, like if it's for a musical thing, like I think about something, like I'm performing, or I think about something I'm trying to say, and I don't say it, but I say it with my face and my eyes, and that's literally what you're trying to do. You're trying to deliver, convey messages, but with your body and your expression, without not trying too hard, but being confident.
So what do you say to those singers? Often photographers can try to push that envelope, and so how do you approach nude or risque photos?
I always tell people, don't do anything you're not comfortable with, because if you're not comfortable, it's not going to come out good. I think art in general, it doesn't matter whether you're taking pictures, writing music, as an artist, you should push the limits. You know what I mean? My opinion. I think that there's nothing wrong with pushing limits for yourself. And I think when it's done for a reason to grow, and it's done to portray a message, that's powerful. If you're just doing it strictly because you want attention, I'm not so big on that. But I think there is something very beautiful and empowering about taking, like, to me, I love mystique. I like things that are a little bit that over the edge, but that don't reveal too much, but just enough for the imagination. Because there's nothing, even in music, like when you give somebody something musically, but you don't give them everything and they still want to know more, there's something intriguing about that. And I think the same thing with pictures. So I always think it's good to push the envelope a little bit, whether if it's you're trying to give a message, whether if it's a political one, whether if it's one of something that you're going through that you haven't opened up to anybody, but you want to open up with it, whether if it's in lyrics or in pictures. But I think those risks are important to take as an artist. So I always tell people, you got to do what you feel comfortable with and what you feel powerful with. Because if you do something that you don't feel good with, then you're going to look back at it and be like, oh my God, why did I do that? So and which might happen too, you know what I mean? Because sometimes you take risks and you're not going to be proud of all of them. But I do really think it's important to take other risks. I know I haven't. So,
Very cool. We're going to be right back with Nestor, you guys. But thank you so much for you tuning in tonight. This is The Groove, as you know, and we are live. I am your host, Carl Brister. Shout out to everybody that's watching. We do see you. Check out Facebook. What's up? I see you guys over there, and I see you checking in on YouTube. What's up? What's up? And Twitter, shout out to you. Listen, guys, Nestor is here. So if you guys have anything, questions, you want to chat, Nestor, if you want to shout him out, just fill out the chat and send it in. We definitely, Nestor will definitely answer any questions you may have. You see that subscribe button? I see it. Do you see it? I see it. It's right there. Yeah. Click that. Click that button so that you can find out all about the next grooves, the next events, everything. You will get it first. Again, if you follow me on Facebook and Twitter, share this link, share it with your friends, tell them to come on over. We got Latin music sensation Nestor here. You guys, I'm here on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook at Carl Brister Official. But listen, we got some cool things coming up, and Nestor we got a special announcement. You know, I hold those things until the end. Check it out. I'm going to announce that real soon. But here's something really cool coming up I want to share with you guys. On May 7th, we're having a Music Village is going to have its first Love and Unity Scholarship bike ride. And we will be raising financial support for young aspiring musicians that are looking to further their education, needing instruments, private lessons, assist with tuition. Because listen, this music road is tough, but it's a little bit easier when you have the knowledge that can support your creative work and desires and ideas. And music education is so important. We definitely want to support that. And listen, when the community supports the artists, guess what happens? The artists come back and support the community, and that's what we want. It's an exchange, guys. This is gonna be fun. And you know, y'all know I love to be out there working out and everything. And so I started riding near the beginning of the pandemic, and I really got hooked on it. And so this year I said, yo, let's do this. Let's bring families together. Let's all get out there and ride. It's going to be a cool ride. It's not a race, but there will be music. There'll be refreshments. There'll be fun prizes and giveaways. You will not want to miss it. May 7th, right here in West Orange, New Jersey, if you want to ride in person. And if you want to join in remote, you got a Peloton, you got a stationary bike, you want to go to the gym and use one of those, you can log in some miles and have some people support you and say, look, it's for a good cause. So you can push that 10 miles on your own, have somebody support you 2 miles, $2 a mile, and there's $20 you can share with a student that wants to further their musical education. So listen, May 7th, keep that in mind. And you guys know what's coming up after that. The Love and Unity Fest. And we have one of our alumni here tonight, Nestor Martinez. He is one of the few artists that has been to every Love and Unity Fest. Will he be here for this one? Well, stay tuned. You will find out. But first, I want you guys to check out Nestor in action one more time. This is one of my favorites. One of my favorites, hands down. The performance, I'm going to spoil it. But listen, guys, this is Nestor Martinez live, and we'll be right back with our remaining of our interview. Check it out.
Për herë të parë në Shqipëri vjen Nestor Martinez. Ju lutem një duar trokitje për të. Hola Flora. Esta la nueva canción Fuego. Con eso de la 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 la.
dolor de tu cuerpo que enciende mi fuego por ti. Paso el día sin ti, sigo sufriendo, ya no puedo más. Te quiero aquí, te anhelo si tú te vas, voy sufriendo cada día más. ¡Fuego! Fuego, fuego, tú no puedes denegar. Fuego, fuego, tú te pones a temblar. Estamos amarrados, yo hago anti-desire. El cuerpo va sudando, keeps taking me higher. El fuego va quemando, es a hold you tighter. Quemando, 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 baby. Me gusta. Un, dos, tres, fuego.
Bro,
I
bro,
haven't seen that in such a long time. That's so cool. Like, watching it.
man, you got it. Where was that? I mean, first of all, the ending, everything, man. Where did that happen? How did that happen?
That was in Florida. It's beautiful there. Oh my God. Florida, the best way to describe it, it's right by the sea and there's like a lot of mountains. It is gorgeous there. And when I went there and I did the performance, I was actually, that was a couple of days before we started filming the video. Fuego, actually. So that's why I was out there. I was out there to promote the song a little bit and film the video, which was awesome. So yeah, it was.
I mean,
you got to see a lot of it.
I've shared the stage with you. You are a powerhouse performer, man. I mean, I've seen you kill it.
Oh man,
I've seen you first with I've seen you do it. This is Mr. Humble here tonight.
Dude, you too. What are you saying? Oh my God, I've seen you kill it too. Are you kidding me?
I have no choice. But look, I am excited because you are going to be bringing your performance back to the Love and Unity Fest this year. So I am like,
oh, we got me and Chris. We did so I'm working with now. We got a really cool acoustic version of Fuego that hopefully he's with me in this gig. If not, I'll have somebody else. The acoustic version is pretty awesome. It sounds like it's like a Gypsy Kings. It has like a Gypsy Kings twist to it, so it's really cool.
Man, we're excited to have you. You know, you're one of the inaugural artists for the Love and Unity Fest. You were there from the very beginning, and you've been there every year, man. I really, really appreciate you. And before I ask you my next question, I got to shout some people out that have been chiming in on Facebook.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lynette. I love Lynette.
Yeah, Lynette. Exactly. She's out there. Bilal, what's up? Thank you, brother. Jamal Hill. I see you guys. And
Robert.
Lynette says you're a superstar.
I love her. She's sweet. And look at Robert. Robert he goes back with us too.
Oh, Rob is on there?
Yeah, Robert. He was a singer too.
Oh,
He was
shout out Rob, man. I mean,
breathless.
photography.
Yeah,
That's the dude. Yo,
he
you
is.
got you have so much love, man, and you've shown love to the Love and Unity Fest all these years. Can you just tell us, what brings you back, and why do you think the Love and Unity Fest is so important?
Man, I honestly, it's amazing to see it grow all the time and how many different artists you have, which is so cool. Like, even they were telling me about the lineup for this year. I'm like, that's so awesome. Like, I love that there's people with, first of all, there's so many talented people. Every time that we do it, there's even more talented people besides the people that we already have. Second, it's different cultures. Third, it's just like the message of music. It's like, it's so needed. The whole embracing each other's cultures. You get to see everybody's artistry. I mean, it's for a good cause. Anybody can come to see it. It doesn't matter what age you are, and it's just like, it's about unifying people. And I love that I could sing Spanish music there, and some of the people aren't Spanish, and they're having a great time. And I'm listening to Lynette kill it. She's doing some jazz, and then you have freaking John Anthony killing it rock. Then you're doing your thing. It's awesome. Honestly, I love it. Like, it's a blessing to be part of. So I'm like really grateful.
Thank you, brother. And so what do you have planned for the Love and Unity Fest this year? How you gonna bring it? What you got?
I definitely have to, like, after watching this, I was like, I have to give a cool, crazy performance to get everybody into it. People like to have dancing, having a good time. So I probably will take some originals. I'll probably take some covers, because I think it's important to take some of the stuff that's on the radio to get people into it. But I have a lot of cool stuff that me and my producer have been working on that I definitely want to give people a taste of, because I'm very excited about the sound that we're creating, like, in the studio. I'm super proud of it. So you'll definitely get a taste of everything that's going on with the fusion. Everything will be given a twist to it as well too. We'll have some things that sound like the radio, but then we'll give it like a little bit of a remix vibe, and the acoustic session, which will be some original stuff, which I'm really excited to show. So
awesome.
Yeah.
All right, y'all heard it first. Don't forget, the Love and Unity Fest is coming on May 21st. It's earlier this year.
Yeah.
May 21st. Yeah. And it's going to be at the Edison School Field, which is 75 William Street in West Orange, New Jersey. It's free music all day, classical music, hip hop music, rock music, Latin music, R&B, house, dance, all of that. You guys, you will not want to miss it. Food trucks, vendors. And this year it's going to be art, displays from the youth. Our youth are going to be singing and with gospel choirs. You got fantastic performances. You just want to bring your lawn chairs, bring your blankets, come out and have a great time on May 21st in West Orange, New Jersey. For more information, guys, check out musicvillage.live. Musicvillage.live, and you'll see everything Love and Unity Fest that's coming up. Now, the big question for you, Ness, as we sort of kind of move from this place to the next, is, do you still see love in the world today?
I really love what that second guy said, that everybody wants the world to change, but it's hard for people to want to change themselves. So, like, one of the things that brought about to me is, I feel like we're all instilled with them when we're kids. Like, when we're kids, that's why kids are so pure and angelic, because they're full of so much love. I think that as we get older, unfortunately, through hardships, through experiences, we can lose touch of that. You know what I mean? Or we all have different interpretations of what it is. I will say this, and this is just me personally speaking. For me, the first love is God. And I know that everyone's going to have a different opinion on what are the things that they believe in. But I think initially, if you are connected to God, or if you're connected to a higher source or something higher than ourselves, I think it's a good place to start, because I think that when we start to lean towards our ego, towards our rage, towards our anger, really ugly things can come about. So I definitely think that there's love. I think that there's a lot of people too that are hurting, and there's a lot of people that are passionate, even if it might be about the wrong things. That's why there's so much people on one end and on the other end. But I think ultimately people do want to connect. I think one of the hardest things, and this is one of the things that I put on my website, that I said vulnerabilities where I find my strength, is because I think that is the hardest thing for us to do. To be able to admit our feelings, to be able to cry, to be able to just break down those walls, it takes strength. And I think that's where you find love. I really genuinely do. I think that when you can love those things, then you learn to love the things around you. So to me, the biggest thing is you got to inspire love in each other. You got to find love within yourself, and you got to find ways to inspire it around you. And I think that's for me, that's how you make the change. You start small. So, and you let it see where it could take you. But I think it's there. I think there's people that are very connected to it. Some people might have disconnected from it, but I think it's our job as people, no matter what anyone's going through, to inspire that and to give that back. So, yeah.
You heard him. You heard it right here, Nestor Martinez. Nestor, man, I'm so happy that you were able to stop by the Groove. All the groovy people out there that's chiming in. Robert McMurray, you remember Robert is a great singer himself. Shout out to you, Rob. Thank you for tuning in. Bilal, see you out there as well. You guys on YouTube, I thank you guys for stopping by, as well as Twitter. And listen, guys, to get more music from Nestor Martinez, how do we do that, Nestor?
Well, I'll have a lot of updates on my website, which is www.nestormartinezofficial.com. I like to put everything there. Like once you go to my website, you can see all my social media. There's links to my social media. There's videos. Everything's on there. But also my Instagram at Nestor Martinez Official. I like to keep it simple because this way you can just find me on everything. But yeah, I'll definitely, everything will be updated there. I'm actually going to Colombia in a month and a half to promote music out there, so I'll be putting videos of that too. Be doing some television out there, and just new stuff to come. I'm excited.
Awesome, man. I'm always we've been riding this ride together for quite some time, and we celebrate each other's victories. And man, I celebrate all that you have accomplished and that all that you're working on. I can't wait for the new music, and I'm really just grateful for our friendship and brotherhood, man. Real talk. I appreciate you.
Same, bro. You too, by the way. Like I see, I've gotten to watch you on TV promoting your music, and like for a great cause, and just everything how it tied into Black History Month. It's just beautiful, and I love that you're making music that's it has messages that people need to hear. So to you too, bro. You inspire me too, watching you. So thank you, and thank you for having me here.
Thank you, man. All right, guys. Nestor Martinez will be back at the Love and Unity Fest on May 21st. You guys got to come back. You see and hear more from Nestor on May 21st at the Love and Unity Fest. I want to again thank you guys for coming to the Groove tonight. Next week, we have the return appearance of the one and only Mr. Kenny Bobian. He will be in the house next week. He was our first artist for this season. However, those of you who've been there, the groovy people, you guys know Kenny had a little technical, difficulty getting on, but all of that is straightened out. And the king of soul house music will be back next week here on The Groove with yours truly. And listen up, guys. This coming Monday, March 28th, I will be at Crunch Fitness, one of our sponsors for the Love and Unity Scholarship Ride, with another Love and Unity performing artist, Mr. John Anthony, who will be performing live right there at Crunch Fitness in Verona. So you guys, if you know Pompton Avenue, Route 23, you guys know that Crunch Fitness is official, and it's going to be shut down that night. We're going to just give you guys a taste of the Love and Unity Fest right there, and you can sign up for the scholarship bike ride. And if you missed it, scholarship bike ride will be May 7th, and you guys can go to musicvillage.live for more info on the scholarship bike ride. Is there still love in the world? Do I believe it? Yes, yes, and yes. Can there be more? Absolutely. So in order to add a little bit more love in the world, I'm gonna leave you guys with LOVE, performed by yours truly. I'll see you next week right here, 7 p.m. live on The Groove.
Hey! Do y'all feel all right? I said, do you feel all right? If you believe in love, I need you to say this with me.